Hi guys, so more news coming out of the Nova Open for you all. Basically, I had a run through of the RuneWars miniatures game today. I managed to get a little bit of video, so I'm going to talk a little bit first, then I'll play the video and I'll narrate over. I've only got part of the game for this one, but just trying to give you all a feel of how the game flows and stuff like that. So we'll go through, we'll have a look at basic playthrough and then I'll give you my thoughts on the game. But yeah, RuneWars miniatures game was announced at GenCon, coming out obviously from Fantasy Flight Games. Really excited about it. I've been looking for some kind of more tactical, high level movement and stuff like that since pretty much since 7th edition Fantasy changed into 8th edition was when I was less interested in the competitive side of the game. And we're all aware of, FFG's organised play and how good they are at supporting these competitive games. So I've got hopes for RuneWars in that regard. And see, this is a core set, so you get the two armies. From chatting to the demo guys and a bit of a talk with the FFG guys we're doing there, hopefully, and I get to record again tomorrow. I'll get to chat to Frank and Wade tomorrow as well, and they've got little bits of snippets they can tell me. But looks to be roughly 100 points per side in the core box, and through talking to the demo guys, they're saying that you're looking at double that will be the normal size game. So if you buy two, or you and your friends buy one and trade half the factions away, you're pretty much getting two full armies, barring the characters, which you can't really use two of the same character, just like X-Wing. But it looks like it's going to be good value. And then this is the other still unpulled. I do have another one, but I'll wait until we're actually narrating the video before I talk about that. And it shows you can see a couple of miniatures and up closer. I wasn't really impressed with the miniatures when I first saw them on the reveal, but having seen them on the table today, it's actually a really impressive game to look at. When they're all ranked up in those trays, it looked really good. So I'm really excited to actually play this and get my hands on it when it comes out. Basic stat lines for the units are just on the card, so you can see the Room Golem, which is that 4-armed, 2 swords monstrosity at the back. He's got a defense of 4, and that means that when you roll the attack dice, which is pretty similar to X-Wing in most regards, but we'll cover that once we get to a game, you need to get 4 hits to do 1 wound. Then the number next to a shield, so the defense is a number in the shield. The number next to a shield, a number 2 for a Rune Golem, is the number of wounds he's got. So it takes 4 hits to do a 1 wound, and he's got 2 wounds. And you've got the reanimators, which are the skeletons, and they've got 1 defense, so they take 1 hit to do 1 wound. Seems pretty simple. You've got special rules on the cards that are in front of you, so you don't need to remember all the rules for your army, it's going to be laid out there. And yeah, it looks really interesting, and I'm going to cut to a game now. So we pick up the game in round 3, I think, just as things start to happen. So I reveal my dial for a night, so say I had the lowest initiative. We'll get onto how good I was working a second, so I just wanted to get this bit out of the way. Wanted to show you where all the combat's happening. You can see I've sped the game up quite a lot, just to make sure we get through it in a timely manner, because it's just my first playthrough. So these are the dials. You can see the white numbers on the left-hand side is the speed at which you activate, always one goes first. And what we're about to see is me making a critical mistake with my Spearman, which is a top dial you can see, because I went with the red attack, which is a 7, because I could add extra damage in, whereas in the yellow attack, which is a 3, I don't have the colour-coded one on the right-hand side of the dial, because it has to be the same colour. And as you can see here, because I went for a slower attack, the skeletons I'm fighting get to go first and wipe out half of my unit in one go. So that was a big learning thing straight away, trying to realise how important it is for those dials to match up to the importance of the speed of attacking first. Because the rank bonus I would have got from having no skeletons, still having no spearmen, would have been +1 damage. So if I'd have gone with the earlier attack, I would have had the same effect, but still had re-rolls, because you get +1 damage for having been too wide, and then you get re-rolls for every block behind you. So I would have been re-rolling my dice with +1 damage if I'd have gone first. Instead, I go second, get +2 damage, but don't roll as well, so I don't kill as much. And it just goes to show how interesting the game's going to be, in my opinion anyway, with that interaction of the dials. That's that turn, so his horrible gribbly worm thing charged in on my golem as well and started fighting. I just swayed my hero around trying to get the arc for a charge, because the way the movement works is all the templates. So you should see in a second. Like I said, we just did it with flipping the runes as well, which is really interesting. Let's see, 5 little circles at the bottom. Every turn, one person has initiative and the other person tosses the runes. And then the colours that they come up with show different effects. So in this game, I got lots and lots of green ones, which lets him keep reanimating skeletons. But it didn't really help him too much, as it turns out. You don't want to spoil the fun. But I'm charging in and trying to chop up his general with my general. And it goes pretty well. I miss my attacking entirely, but she's got a special ability if she rolls the surge result. So it got surges, it's the same surge symbol as Imperial Assault. You get to do special things, and hers is that she can apply damage to something else. And I chose to wipe out the worm thing before it could attack me, because I went before them in that instance. You see my cavalry charging on the last of his archers and the bottom side, and then that's him tossing the runes there. He gets to regenerate skeletons again because it was green ones. That's him setting his dial. So you have the same planning phase. You're doing X-Wing. And I really enjoy this, actually. Takes quite a bit of time trying to get a grasp of the rules and how to play properly. This was my first go at it, so I'm going to try and get another game tomorrow with the proper recording equipment set up. That was his general trying to chop me down, and he doesn't do well. I attack him back and do some... oh, yeah, there we go. Exploding. It was that attack that got it. And his skeletons go first again to keep whittling away my unit, which is pretty sad to be a spearman in this game. But yeah, that's is about where it wraps up now. You should get to see the movement templates coming in, because I didn't want to talk too much about them, because it's something that's quite widely known now, is that it does use a template movement system. In the next video, there'll be a lot more showing that off. But as you can see here, we're back in the planning phase. I've got him down to just his unit of skeletons against all 4 of my units, even though my spearmen and my cavalry are quite badly depleted. He gets me down to 1 spearman there. I charge in with, try and charge in with general. You saw him, it was a 2 bank, and I actually made a mistake of judging it with X-Wing size templates and things like that. And they are completely different sizes, so even though we have the same names, they are different, so don't be confused if you play both games. But this turn, my cavalry had turned around. My general can't fail a charge. I've really got him penned in there. So she goes in first and gets re-rolls because of special rules, and absolutely massacres 4 of them. Easily pushes in. So the reason I take away the 4 closest, because you get to pick which unit you destroy, is so that he couldn't hit my spearman back, because I wanted him to live, because I was being gamey as fuck. But, it's good fun. And then you can move backwards. That was a 2 template being used there to move backwards, and then you have the reform as your special action. So I got to rotate on the spot. My cavalry charge in there, take him down to 2 skeletons, and he regens again. And then I come in, I get to go first because I've got the quickest attack and I kill his last couple of skeletons. And that was the game. That was my first attempt at RuneWars. Like I say, it was only a short video. You jumped in pretty late in the game, turn 3. The game lasts for 8 rounds and you have different victory conditions. The victory conditions for the one you just watched was to do with adding up the points you killed compared to points you have left. Basically, just a random skirmish. And obviously, I wiped him out to a man, so I got my first victory at RuneWars. So if I stop now, I keep my 100% record. But unfortunately, I'm going back tomorrow for some more punishment. Hopefully, dishing out some more punishment, that is. But yeah, I'm really excited about this, guys. I honestly feel like it's going to be a really big, big thing. It should be pretty popular. The distribution that FFG have, they've got a really good setting, or an established setting with RuneWars, because there's lots of stuff set in this world. And it's got nicer quality miniatures than the Imperial Assault ones are. And I like the Imperial Assault miniatures anyway. They feel like they're a bit more rugged than the Imperial Assault ones. The sculpts are pretty good. I'll try and get some good photographs tomorrow and do some close-up shots of the miniatures for you all. And yeah, so it should be played on a slightly larger game with about double the amount of stuff that you see on the tables there. But if you've got any questions or anything, throw stuff up in the comments. I'll answer what I can, and I'll be a little bit more experienced after my games tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everyone.